From Yobe to Kaduna State, where women from Kapam community, the host community of the Kaduna Refining and Petrochemical Company, were at the gate of the refinery to protest. They blocked all access to the refinery and they claimed the activities of the refinery has an effect on their health and livelihoods. We'll bring you more details in this report.
The entrance of the Kaduna Refining and Petrochemical Company is the scene of an unusual protest. Women of the host community of Kapam, accompanied by other local residents, block access to the facility. They allege that the chemicals released by the refinery have led to a series of disturbing incidents, raising serious concerns about their health and safety.
Our animals are dying. Our crops, if you go inside and check, you see what is going on. We inherit what is not good, and they refuse to come out to talk to us. We are angry. We will not let anybody in. Our children are dying. Our crops are dying.
The day before yesterday, we start perceiving chemicals from refinery. That's where the things is too much. Even our goats dying, our human beings, even some men or women here, they are faint.
I got a rice farm here. I am retired. The only source is this very farm that I have. To my greatest shock, I came and made the rice farm completely black.
Yam farm that I collected loan to farm, roughly 1,500 bags of yam. Now, this chemical just came upon the whole thing and it destroyed them in totality.
The protesters turned away anyone attempting to gain entry in a display of their frustration and fear. Turnaround maintenance of the refinery is currently ongoing with the aim of reviving the facility by the 31st of December 2024. A senior staff member who spoke to us off camera acknowledged the community's concerns, revealing that an accident a few days ago led to the discharge of these chemicals. Some refinery staff later addressed the protesters, assuring them that the affected locals will be compensated for any harm caused.
So we have saw what they complained. We are going back to see our MD. So they are our neighbors. So we try as much as possible to bring support to them.
In the immediate term, Kapam community is calling for health examinations to assess the impact of the alleged chemical exposure. And in the long term, they are demanding a comprehensive compensation for all affected individuals. Lupe Asom, TVC News, Kaduna.
And in Adamawa State, victims of recent flooding are now getting assistance from the state government. The Governor Omar Fintiri flags off the distribution of food and non-food items to victims in Madagali local government area of the state. Senior reporter Wulabi Adenisi filed in this report.
Last Friday, over 10,000 people were displaced in 13 communities of Madagali local government area by flood, with about 6 others confirmed dead. After the devastation, those victims now find it difficult to survive. But all hope is not lost as the state government is here with relief materials to cushion the effect of the disaster. And as the state government is distributing food and non-food items, this federal lawmaker representing the zone at the National Assembly is supporting the victims with cash and other necessities.
We call this as an emergency relief. Well, we look forward for a better support from the federal government. The state government has come earlier with a lot of relief for the people. We are going to push forward for the federal government to come to our aid, because you can see the bridge is so damaged and the flood. Over 1,000 houses are down. Over 2,000 households are displaced.
For now, the cry for help from these victims is to the Northeast Development Commission and other good-spirited Nigerians.
My house is demolished. My goats, some were off. My foodstuff gone.
In this our village, there are many people that are looking for homes they don't have, and lives, children are dying. If you go to some other places like Shua, they don't even have houses to stay. Their food, their crops are gone. Waters have taken their crops away.
The district head of Shua, Mustafa Sanusi, thanked the member for bringing succor to the affected persons, describing the flood disaster as unfortunate.
We have received our beloved member. He came with some relief too. And we have some individuals that came with relief too. We are calling on the federal government and the world to please come to our aid, because this is a total devastation. We lost everything. We lost our economic life and everything. So we are now in emergency. We want them to, especially the government, the federal government, to intervene on recovery and stabilization.
The state government says it has reached out to the flood victims in the 4 affected local governments where farmland and other valuable materials were destroyed.
Let's turn our attention to Taraba State, where the governor, Agbo Kefes, is appealing to the federal government to come to its aid by fixing the 2 federal bridges connecting the central district of the state to other parts of the country. Senior reporter Olabi Adenisi filed in this report.
This 45-year-old Mayokam Bridge along the Jalingo-Bali Highway especially caved in due to a heavy downpour barely 2 days after the Jalingo-Wukari Highway bridge was destroyed. Days after the water receded, the Bali local government chairman mobilized the locals to the scene to create an alternative road for motorists. Now he's calling on the federal government to help in fixing the bridge.
I came in the night, I saw this place, the bridge was caught. Since that night, I called the community and the council representing this ward to organize and apply the same method that we did in Kungana for the past 3 years.
Some residents and motorists have this to say.
The rain started at around 11 in the night till daybreak. We now experience that our bridge from Mayokan here collapsed. Some of our drivers nearly died of the process of trying to pass around the bridge.
To gashi dai hanya ya riga ya kwabe yau wurin sati daya ba mu samu muka samu hanya ba sai yau aka zo aka sa dutse aka samu muna wushewa tukunna.
The directors of the State and Federal Ministry of Works who visited the scene shared their views with TVC News.
There is urgent need for the federal government to intervene in this situation. His Excellency have taken proactive measures. He has contacted the Army headquarters for a floating bridge.
Certainly the federal government has something in place. They capture it every year. They make provision for unforeseen situation like this. Emergencies of collapse of bridges and culverts.
The collapsed Cam Bridge is about 85 kilometers of the state capital, connecting Sardauna and other 5 local government areas of the state.
Meanwhile, Abike Dabirewa is advocating for policies that will allow for equal opportunities to advance the career of women in the military, gender-responsive budgeting, and allocating of financial resources to support gender integration initiatives. She identified these methods as ways to engender inclusiveness in Nigeria's military. Moyo Thomas reports.
2024 Defense Headquarters Annual Gender Conference in Abuja. The chairman of the Nigerians and Diaspora Commission says one of her desires is to start seeing female defense attachés at the Nigerian missions abroad. Speaking further on the impact of gender on conflict and security, she says female inclusion is not for equality and equity alone, but for strategic national security.
So as we navigate the complexities of modern security challenges, the inclusion of diverse perspectives will be crucial in crafting responses that are not only effective but also sustainable within our national security architecture.
Our goal is to create a military that reflects the diversity of our nations, where every officer and servant, file and rank, has an equal opportunity to serve and contribute regardless of gender. We must work together to address the barriers and biases that have historically limited women's participation.
Gender gap in the military as of 2012 was about 13.6%. Female enrollment started increasing and as of 2019 was 15.3%. With favorable policy and Nigeria's commitment to Resolution 1325, female participation reached an all-time high at 27.9% as of November 2023. This feat is part of the focus of this year's annual gender conference commemoration.
It is said that to whom much is given, much is expected. It is therefore my hope that having been so honored today, you will continue to uphold the highest level of discipline, ethics, standards, and professionalism. Therefore, it is important that you be role models in order to motivate other young women to join the force.
The military leadership was encouraged to eliminate all barriers that work against women and limit their potentials. Moyo Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.